public. Let me edit it and make sure that people can see the thumbnail as well. Downloads. There we go. That's the one. Perfect. And then we're going to move this out of the way. Save changes. Everybody is hearing me talking about this. Well, this is happening live, y'all. It's happening live.
And I was dancing to nothing.
It's fine. It's fine.
Amazing.
It's not. We're going to be fine. Everything is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Get shareable link. Okay, I have the link, and I'm going to send that to you through Twitter.
Through Twitter. Okay.
Oh no! Wait. Oh, should I do it through me? Is that okay? Okay. I'm gonna DM you it.
Nice. Okay. Here we go. This is good because I should probably have it open anyway, so I can read chat.
So just so you know, we are live on Twitter. Periscope is like, hey, I'm all up in your business.
I think I got my wrong microphone on because I can hear myself and I sound very distant, and actually, I should not. So
that's crazy because you sound perfectly great to me. How about you guys? I know you're on Periscope. I know 3 of you are watching. Can you hear Anna good? Make sure that you say.
You better be honest.
Please, that would be great.
Okay, and then I gotta copy that link, and I'm gonna tweet that link, and then I can be with you 100%, and I can properly chill out. Here we go. Sitting up. Yep. Okay. Join us right now. There we go. I want to make sure.
Please join us. We don't have anything else to do today.
I literally don't. So that's great. And it turns out, coincidentally, I have tomorrow off.
Oh.
Because in Berlin, which is where my work's office is, International Women's Day is a day off. It's a public holiday.
America, please keep up. Keep the fuck up.
Germany. It's just Berlin. Just the state of
America, I need you to keep up, okay? Just what? That sounds lovely. That sounds amazing. Just
Okay, but the thing is that Germany generally does have a lot of holidays because they have all these old school religious holidays that they've kept around.
That makes sense.
So I'm not particularly religious, but my husband and I always make the joke, whenever it's a public holiday, one of us will say to the other, oh, by the way, tomorrow's a public holiday. And we go, oh, which Jesus Day is it this week? It's always a Jesus Day. But tomorrow is one of the weird cases where it's not a Jesus Day. It's International Women's Day. So
that is awesome. Cheers to that. Are you ready to get started? Because I'm ready to get started.
I'm ready.
Yes. What are you drinking right now? Yes. I'm loving this.
I am actually not a big wine drinker, but I do love a good Riesling. So
that's awesome.
Do you have something? Do you have a beverage?
I have my tea, and I'll be tutoring today. So can't get super drunk today, but I'm gonna be super American and have a limerita.
Limerita.
Yeah, it's like a margarita in a can, and it's American shit. It really is.
Margarita in a can.
Yes.
I love it. That is very American. I mean, I know that's probably super offensive.
I don't think that it is, because what is this? This is apparently 400 calories in a can, in a fucking can. This is 2 servings of alcohol. So that's okay. America. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and we have a very special guest today, Miss Anna McDougall. I'm so excited to have you here. Congratulations for your job. I am super excited for you. I would love for you to tell everybody what is going on in your life, because you were an opera singer before you became a software engineer. So can you tell us a little bit more about what was going on with that?
Yeah, it's the classic story, really. I think that's how most people end up in software engineering, right? Also, before I begin, someone called Bethany has said that my voice sounds a lot quieter than yours.
Interesting. Okay.
Again, let me just check my own settings, because I have this weird feeling that I've got the wrong. Although this says it's right. Hang on. It says it should be good from my end. All right.
I'm gonna
Anyone else? Can anyone else chime in and let us know if that's a...
Yes, please. That would be really helpful.
I don't often get accused of being quiet, so it's
Oh my God.
a strange thing. It does say I might be using the wrong mic. Okay, all right. That made me think of what was it? Hey all right.
Oh my goodness. The anthem. The anthem.
Okay, here we go. Hello. Is that better? Louder? Clearer?
I mean, I think that's louder. I think that is.
Okay. All right.
How about you guys? What do you think?
I'll tell you what. I'll take this opportunity to talk a little bit about myself.
Yes.
And then in that time, people can answer the question.
Yes, absolutely.
About whether I'm still too quiet or using the wrong mic still. So basically, I've had a weird kind of journey, I suppose you'd call it. I started making little websites as like a little baby 8-year-old with an HTML, like learn HTML at home kind of little book that I bought. And although my parents bought, let's be honest. And so I made like little HTML websites for myself and my friends. And did software design at high school, but I was the only girl and it was pretty intimidating. And just didn't feel particularly comfortable, even though I was really, really good. And so I ended up going into other things, like I did a lot of drama and languages, and at uni I ended up studying journalism and media, and then worked for a few years in project management and digital marketing, and then I was working in digital marketing for Opera Australia, which is the company that puts on all the operas at the Opera House.
I see. Wow.
So I was working for them, and it kind of reminded me of how much I loved opera and classical music. So I went and got singing lessons from one of the singers at the company, and just thinking like, oh, this will be fun. I'll do this just like as a hobby, and like from time to time, once a week in my lunch break or whatever. And as I learned more, she kind of, after a few weeks to I think a few months, she kind of said, listen, I think you should try to audition for the Sydney Conservatorium of Music.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, I guess I will, because why not?
Yeah.
Like, seize life by the horns. And then I got into a master's degree directly. So I'd never studied music before. I didn't know any music theory, nothing. And I went straight into that. Luckily, I had that background with drama.
Right.
So I kind of had the stage aspect was already pretty comfortable for me. But the musical side, I was completely out of my depths. Like, it was a really hard transition, I have to say, because like with software engineering, you have to learn all these different systems of logic and all these different ways that music comes together. It really is very similar in many ways.
Yeah.
You have to know all those systems and be able to kind of call on different pieces of syntax,
right?
At short notice. And I didn't have any of that, so it was as if I jumped into a senior job with zero experience.
Yeah.
I liked computers, it was really intimidating, and it was a really hard first semester. But I worked my butt off and ended up doing quite well. I got hired by Opera Australia as a singer directly out of uni.
Wow.
And I actually toured, I did a kids tour as Cinderella. So I was Cinderella.
Oh, that's so cool. I know a Disney princess.
Well, not Disney, an opera princess.
Okay, fair enough. Opera princess. My bad. Excuse me, please.
The dress was suspiciously similar to the Disney.
All right, we probably can't say Disney on here because the Disney feds will probably swarm in or something. My bad. I apologize. The Australian Cinderella. That's awesome.
Australian Cinderella. Different. And definitely not wearing the same dress. And as part of that, I was kind of like, well, there isn't that much opportunity for singers in Australia because it's really just the Opera House. There's not a lot more opera in terms of solid jobs.
I see. Wow.
In Australia. like there's a lot of freelance stuff, but really nothing you could make a living on.
Right.
Australia is really expensive to live in, so it wasn't really an option long term. So I moved to Germany. My husband also moved to Germany, but it's a long story. So he's also a singer. So we ended up being here, and I worked at an opera house for 3 years.
Wow.
And then got pregnant with my little girl, who's now 2. And
congratulations!
Thank you. She's really sweet. and then it was kind of like, oh, okay, here's an opportunity to do something different, because I loved doing opera on a day-to-day level. Like, it's lots of fun. You get to dress up, you're on stage, entertain people, get the applause. Oh, I'm amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but long-term, I knew that it wasn't going to satisfy me intellectually. And I'm a very ambitious person, and I'm a very driven person, and I want to create change in the world. And I couldn't see how I could do any of those things via opera, long term. So I knew I needed a change, and it kind of presented, the birth of my daughter presented an opportunity. So then, I'm almost done, I promise. I know this is petty.
No, you're fine. Please take your time. I like, this is an awesome, amazing story. So just congratulations to you. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so then I was really tossing up between like, not vocal therapy, what's called in English, speech therapy. And I was tossing up between speech therapy and programming. But there were a few different reasons why speech therapy wasn't looking like a good option for me. And then with programming, I actually took the Odin project, which is like a free web development.
Okay.
And I did that every day when Corona lockdown first happened. So my husband was suddenly at home and could look after our baby daughter. And I did that every single day for 60 days. Like 3 to 6 hours a day. Like weekends, everything, like nonstop. And then I realized via that I was still really good. That it wasn't just me as a teenager, you know what I mean? Like, it was actually something that I was actually good at. And I was like, oh, I'm actually good at this, and I love it. Like, this is great. Like, it's really satisfying parts of my brain I haven't accessed in a long time. And so I did a 1 year. I then signed up for a 1 year web development course, which I never completed because I got hired in my job that I just started last week. As a junior software engineer. That's how I got here.
That's so amazing. Congratulations to you. Gosh, that's incredible. And I'm glad that you were able to like feel confident to like see it through, because I know that there's so many people that are just like they've started kind of like with HTML and CSS, and then they're just kind of wondering like, should I go back? Is there like more that I can do with it and everything? Like I think that was where kind of my story was kind of at originally. Like I had liked HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but just like, you know, do I need to be a genius to do that? And do I need to do this, that, and the third to actually like be able to be like a programmer and things? No, there's a bit of a balance, and I'm glad that we have been in that space of privilege to be able to like be who we are today and everything. So, gosh, that's awesome.
And I have to say, it's in large part thanks to the social programs that the German government has, because actually, that is how I was able to do it. I mean, as I said, my husband's a classical singer. He has a very good job as a classical singer, that only really exists in Germany. So it's not, but I mean, by American standards, it's like average, but by singer standards, European singer standards, like we feel really well off. But in actual fact, if I hadn't been getting, because I worked for 3 years in the theatre, I had a certain amount of social benefits kind of saved up with the German government. So then they paid me 66% of my old wage. I had the right to a year and a half of 66% of my old wage.
Wow.
That's after a year at 66% for maternity leave.
I'm telling you, America needs to keep up. So
so I had that, and then on top of that, because they could see that my work experience and qualifications weren't sufficient to find me work in Germany, they also paid for my 1 year web development certification.
That is really great.
I didn't pay a cent. And actually, they also paid for my childcare. They paid for my bus tickets.
Yeah.
They paid for everything I needed to complete that course was supplied by the German government.
That's
so thanks to
awesome.
government benefits, I was able to do this. So it definitely is. I mean, I definitely am very privileged, but I really have to thank the German government system in large part for giving me the financial freedom to commit time to learn this,
That's really
Otherwise, I wouldn't
awesome.
be able to.
So, what next? You're here. You're a developer. You've been a developer. You've been one. Now it's like a professional. Like you have the title, and I'm sure that you got the pay and everything. Like what next?
Yeah.
What's going on now?
Now I just take a paycheck. That's the end. I'm done now.
Perfect. I hallelujah to that. I will not ever I totally get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Okay. That's a really good question. I guess for now I am mainly focusing on the job side of things because I need to get up to speed. As I said, I did HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. But my work is going to be mostly in Java, Kotlin, Spring Boot. And also things like Angular and Vue, which I haven't worked with before.
Oh.
So it's kind of a bit of a mixed bag. So I obviously have a lot of work to do to catch up in that sense, to get to the stage where I can contribute meaningfully.
Yeah.
So that's obviously my focus. But longer term, I definitely want to just, keep pushing the limits. I want to keep creating content, keep talking to people. I really love public speaking.
Yeah. And I don't, which is like really hilarious. Like I'm asking you questions just to like divert from me.
That's what you're trying to an interview. Now I understand.
Oops. Oops, you caught me. My bad. Because I'll be honest, I've heard parts of like how you had started your journey and everything, but just like I hadn't heard the whole story, so I was just like, I need to make sure that I understand what's going on here. I need to know. So
before this stream began, I was saying to Sydney that I find it really interesting how on Twitter you kind of get to know vibes about people and you kind of get feelings about people.
Yes.
But you often forget the little details.
Yes.
And here she is, proving my point. She's like, we've been talking for like a year. She's like, I know some things about you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I promise. I really, because I was telling her that just this year has been very just interesting. I can't say that it's been all bad. And let us know in the chat like how 2020 was for you. I know that the consensus will be that it was like, man, like it was gross, like shit was happening, like it was crazy. Like I totally understand. But I would love to hear more about like everybody's kind of like experience of 2020 because again, I feel like I was in kind of that place where I felt like with my job, there was so much kind of happening. And I had the privilege of being from home throughout like this entire time. We're not going back until September. There's so much kind of happening, but somebody said it on Twitter where it's like, you're not working from home, work has invaded your home, if that makes any sense. They said something like that. And so I don't know if I've like gotten the true experience of working from home, like some of the people that are like our followers and our friends on Twitter and things, but I think that the greatest part kind of about like the panorama, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is that I've been able to connect with so many more people that are like-minded, that are really talented at their work and are trying to make valuable content that is about their lives, about what they're kind of doing to adjust with the panorama and how exactly they want to, like we don't call it the P word anymore. Okay. Like that's over with. That's fucking over with. All right. Like we all know what it is. We all know what it is. We're just waiting for it to like end because there's so much stuff going on.
It's the new C word. It's the new C word.
Honestly, like that's what it is. So just there. Pandemic. Like I'm so grateful that I've been able to get to know you, and I've been able to get to know some of my business coaches, some of my followers, and be able to create like consistent content about like just being in tech and like the great things about it and like the not so great things about it. So speaking of which, you have your own YouTube channel. I know that like other people know about that, but like what do you hope to like do more with it, and like what's it about right now?
Yes.
Every time we laugh, I feel like it's just gonna be like drink.
Alright, you know what?
Cheers.
Cheers, yeah. Oh, yeah. Close enough, Limerita. I can't believe that. Limerita. Basically, okay, you know, I was saying this sounds so American, but I realized as I was saying that you could say anything in a can, and I would be like, okay, that's American. Like
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're
you know what occurred to me? It occurred to me what's happening with the microphone. I think my voice is going through your mic. That's why it's like coming out of your.
Ooh, it's echoing. Oh no.
Echoing into your mic. No, I don't think it's echoing, but I think it's not picking up my native mic. I think it's
do I need to like
going
turn this?
into yours.
Do I need to turn this down? Oh shit! Like I made sure that this is like not doing all that fun stuff.
No, but I mean, I don't think the original sound is coming in. I don't think it's echoing because I think it's only going through your mic.
I hope not. Oh, do I need to like take this off?
Hang on, I'm gonna listen to myself now and see. Yeah, I'm 100% sure. I'm like, okay, let's say 99% sure.
I think that I should like turn this mic off now and just like edit my settings. And just like see what happens. So I'm just gonna like hold up a second. This is a lot of finagling we're gonna do here.
That's okay. We're learning.
Boom. And my Anna. I had made sure that the settings were fine and oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness gracious. This is oh my goodness. Can you hear me now? Oh my gosh. Can you hear me at all? Oh no. Can you hear me at all?
I mean, you look great, but I can't hear.
Oh no. Oh boy.
Because your Google Meet is muted, that's why.
Ah. There we go. Okay. Can you hear me now? Is that
Yeah,
good?
I can hear you now, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Are you broadcasting system sound?
Yeah, like from my computer, I think.
Okay, that's good. Let me hear it. I'll listen to it again and see.
I feel so bad for everybody like watching this.
That's okay, no deal. I mean, we're baking and talking tech. It's not
Right. Speaking of baking, while she's like testing that out, today I am making a red velvet cake because once upon a time while I was messing around on Twitter, because not only do I give you guys quality content for tech and lifestyle and productivity and unsolicited advice because some of y'all need it, I decided to randomly shitpost about how some of you do not know what a red velvet cake is, which is basically a chocolate cake dyed red. So shame on most of you that didn't know that and was like, I think like I actually blew people's minds that day. That was really fun.
I've got to be honest, Sydney, I didn't know that.
Shame on you too.
I didn't know that. But I knew it when you posted it.
That's fair. You learn something new every day. Like that is what I hope to give Twitter or like whoever is watching all this content. Oh my goodness. Should I like change this mic off and everything? Like, should I switch it?
Oh, I suddenly can't hear you. Uh-oh. This is me. No, it's a me problem. It's definitely a me problem, not a you problem. I tried unplugging my old mic and then plugging in my new mic again, and now I can't. So, you know.
I can hear you perfectly.
Right? Hello. Oh, there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I cannot hear you.
Oh no.
But I know that you're talking because I can see the transcriber like transcribing you. So, you know, worst case, I can at least do that.
Oh no, that's not what we want.
Okay, what's going on, computer? Maybe I should just come back in. Maybe I should reload. So, hang on. It's gonna be us.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be us like trying to solve that sound issue.
Guys, I had like this was the like major problem that I was having before, like while I was testing this out, guys. Oh boy.
There you are, got you.
Yay, you can hear me now? Good.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Alright.
Oh my goodness. Oh. We said that we were gonna cry laughing somehow.
I know. I've been trying to hold back. I'm pretty sure that my voice is still going through your mic, but I think that's cool. I think we just accept it at this point.
That's what Cody Smith says. I think you're picking up on Anna from your mic in the speakers. Oh shit. Should I like?
Can you really find like just troubleshoot this live?
God. I mean, that's what engineers do, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I roll.
I was thinking about this fixed printer thing, and I just want to say, I know everyone gives people shit for asking software engineers to fix printers, but if you think about the like tech capabilities of your average person, there is actually a really good chance that a software engineer will be able to fix a printer.
Maybe. I mean, I don't feel like I'm able to, like, at all.
You at least know where to look, right?
I know that I don't know, like, I feel like I'm that person where, like, this is a very unpopular opinion. I like assembling IKEA furniture, and the challenge, and I like doing it without the instructions just to, like, have something difficult to do sometimes.
You're a badass. I had no idea I was dealing with such a rebel.
That's like, I don't know. I like doing that. And so I like that seems like something that I'd be okay with doing, but like fixing a printer, like I know how to restart the printer and like take it out of the plug and then like put it back in. Like
I think you're doing pretty well then.
Yeah, like that's all that I know how to do. And so yeah, I just
Oh dear. I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to get, like I'm trying to have a look here at the YouTube studio thing to see.
I'm gonna cut this mic in a minute and just do the speakers, honestly.
And then you'll just hear me.
It'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go live now just to
Oh god.
really fuck shit up. If you lose me, then you know what's happened.
Oh my goodness.
Private. Camera can't be accessed. That's cool. Can you do it without a camera? No, apparently it can't. Okay.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Let me see. Hang on. Let me just look. YouTube live sound settings. And then maybe I can shoot this without even seeing your screen.
See, we're developers. We know how to get shit done. We'll figure it out.
Okay, stream key. No, we don't care about that. Okay. So you go to settings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know that's OBS. Alright, hang on. Okay, here we go. No, that's not it either. No, that's not it either. Just show me what I want. Damn it. Okay, if you go to the YouTube studio where you're streaming this from.
Yeah.
Okay. And it goes stream settings.
Oh, good God, where do you see that?
I don't know.
No.
Because I'm looking at pictures on Google Image Search to try to troubleshoot this. Nope, that's not what I want. Okay. Hang on. Sorry, everyone.
We're so sorry.
Elevator music here.
I tried.
That is the worst elevator.
I tried. I tried.
What about like
What is this? What is this? We're not even drunk. We're not drunk yet. This is how I've only had a sip. What's going on here?
Should we maybe? Okay, I'm really torn as to whether we try to fix this or whether we just kind of accept that the sound is going to be a bit crap for the rest of the stream.
So I'm so sorry. I'm going to butcher this name, and I apologize. Rien Pen 80, RIENEPIEN 80 says, I know it's not possible at the moment. What if Sydney moved the sound from her computer to a headphone instead of her speakers?
Okay, but the problem is, I think if she did that, then you wouldn't hear me at all.
I don't know.
It's actually like that's one of the problems, but I think the additional problem is that her like system sound.
That's the strangest thing. This is the strangest thing. Like,
Can your is that a Blue Yeti? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a Blue Yeti.
Can you plug headphones into it? Some of them have like headphone jacks in it.
Oh, that isn't a bad idea. Let me try. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Rena. Okay, we'll call you Rena now. Okay, apparently according to this subtitling program, you're Arena now. So sorry, but the transcriber has that's her name now. I was just saying that she said her name is actually Rena, but when I said that, the transcriber put Arena, and so I told her that's her name now.
Can
Hear me?
ooh, like I
You can
can't.
change your speakers now to your.
Let me see, because like, oh, this sounds very interesting. Let's go here.
Yeah. To be fair, Arena, I would have read your name as Rena B.
How about now, everybody? Like, is this a little bit better? Oh. Oh. Okay, there we go. Oh boy. Yeah. Like in the live stream? Oh my goodness. Why are we doing this? No, like not currently like in the live stream thing. Maybe in Restream. Yeah. So it says the input is the Yeti, and you like guys can hear me, and then the output is the speaker. So let's go to the Yeti. Can you guys hear? Can I hear you? Is that better? Oh no. The speakers and the Yeti microphone, that's it. Like on my computer. So from Restream is like where I'm actually doing everything. So that's where I'm gonna like try and do stuff. So audio output. The input is the microphone. My output is the microphone, of course, and the MacBook. And nope, just the MacBook and the microphone. It happens. Oh no. This is not what I was hoping that was going to go on today, guys. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. We tested this, and I thought it was going to be fine. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I will remember this and make sure that this doesn't happen for the streams that I'll be like doing kind of next time, I guess. Oh goodness. This is a lot. That would be great. That would be awesome. Should I take these out? I don't know if I should take these out. Oh boy. Input, and then there we go. Oh my goodness. This is very. So sorry, guys. Okay, let's go back and make sure that everybody can like hear the speakers. Oh no. Can you hear me? Because I cannot hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I can hear you now. I don't know what that was. Okay, that's fine because the volume was low. Might have to use the audio mixer software. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's okay. I can show you how to do that next time.
Oh, I had everything set up and now it's just like.
There's a reason that podcasting and streaming is not something that is super easy to get set up first time.
I'm so upset. Like I did all that work and it was fine.
No, it's fine. Don't be upset. We're fine.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, people are saying they can hear us now apparently perfectly.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Who knows why?
Just
let's just drink. Let's drink. Okay. So that's how you do it, folks. That's how you solve complex technical issues.
This is the day of the life of a software engineer. That was it. That was it. Cut, print. We don't need to do anything else. We don't need to do anything else. There's lots of drinking, lots of like internal cussing, and like, oh shit, we tested this. Like, why is it? What the fuck? What is going on? I don't know what that was, but okay.
I'm not like let's just accept it. It's the fate.
It's fine.
It's the fate.
I didn't do anything, but okay. Anyways, red velvet cake. So,
Yay!
while I'm actually putting this together, what kind of questions do you have for me? And we can go back and forth.
Oh my gosh. No, I wasn't prepared for this. I actually did write a word down. Oh, that's right. I wrote a word down. I have one question for you.
Okay.
We were talking about appliances, right?
I'm talking about
Before the
appliances.
stream
Okay.
began.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about appliances, and you mentioned that you kind of upgraded your rice cooker, and then you're thinking of like getting an air fryer and all this kind of stuff. And I have one question for you. Do you have a kettle?
Like a kettle, like a tea kettle?
Like a thing that boils water for you?
Yes, absolutely. Do you want to see?
Yes!
I have an electric kettle. So like, I hear that that's okay. This is
This is a thing.
apparently it's a thing where like I drink a lot of tea, and so I need an electric kettle, and apparently like that's not a thing here, where I guess people don't like drink a whole bunch of tea, I guess, so they don't have an electric kettle. So this is like some type of like anomaly that I would have something like that. Like I don't know.
Yes, it is. I've heard about this for the first time when I was on Reddit, and they mentioned like someone was like, "Oh, I still can't get over how most Americans don't have kettles," and I was like, "Whoa, hold up." And so then I started asking some of my American friends, and sure enough, like of 10, like 8 did not have kettles, and I was my mind was blown.
That's so sad.
I mean, I come from Australia. I mean, we're not even. I suppose we drink tea, but it's not like we don't drink a lot of tea. We're not English, you know. So I don't know.
I drink a ton of tea, and I drink green tea in the morning. That's my thing. And I drink a lot of green tea in the morning, and then at night I try and make sure that I like have my sleepy time tea or my chamomile or whatever. Because I'm trying out here in these streets to like actually like put in like more water, like just get the like better water intake and like do my walks and everything. And it's hard. So the thing that I've been doing to like make it better, like people have been like joking about this with me, is that, you know, now that I'm a software engineer, I Perrier money, because I've been spending a lot of my money right now. One of those like awkward purchases that I've been doing is like for Perrier water. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, like.
Do you like are you in a place where you need bottled water?
No.
Is the tap water not good?
No, I'm not. But I like. I feel I'm embarrassed to like actually say I'm bored with water.
That's fair enough. Do you know what? I have an even worse condition.
So Cody Smith says, "Are you saying Lipton bottled tea doesn't count?" No, no.
The Lime-A-Rita also does not count.
It doesn't count.
I'm gonna try to say Lime-A-Rita as many times as I can.
She's gonna do that and then like make me drink.
No, because I've never heard the word before, and I'm so like my imagination has been captured by the word Lime-A-Rita
This is what this is called, Lime-A-Rita.
I love it. What question were we actually answering? Oh yeah. My confession, my worst confession. When I was a teenager, like, I'm pretty sure between the ages of about maybe 13 and I want to say 18, I don't think I drank water at all. Like literally not a glass.
How is this possible?
Because I drank a lot of tea and I drank a lot of milk and I drank a lot of Coca-Cola. I was one of those kids who was like playing MMORPGs at home, like drinking like 2 liters of Coca-Cola a day.
Absolutely.
I told you I did software at a high school, right? So, you know, imagine.
That sounds amazing.
So I actually did not drink water for pretty much my entire teenage life.
Oh my goodness. Like I couldn't just wow. Like
yeah. Now it's very different. I have mended my ways, but
that's a lot. That's I don't, because all my mom did was make sure that we like drank water, and just there's nothing. I know that there is people will argue with me about this, but I will die on this hill. Water has flavor. Water has flavor.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
Just like, okay, spit has a smell, okay? Like they're water droplets. Like that is what you were inhaling. And so it's the same thing. It's like water that just like
Can we just backtrack for a second? Hold on. Just 1 second. Wait.
They're very unpopular opinions. Like spit has a smell, water has a flavor. So just, it depends on like what kind of like filtering process.
Whose spit are you smelling?
Apparently,
I need to know how you came to this conclusion.
Okay, so I mean, you know how you have like mask breath? Like that's what you're smelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
but are you smelling your spit or are you smelling the air?
Well, like the air that is like coming out of your mouth has like those particles, like that's your spit.
Yeah.
Anna's like, I don't believe this. Like,
so
you're not a scientist.
I've got to go.
This is not accurate. Just
I did not sign up for this conversation.
So, fun fact about me: I had wanted to be a doctor, and I had went to a private university that I thought that I was going to like be a doctor in and everything, but that didn't work out. So I'm not a professional. I just know what I know. I've definitely I feel like I have smelled people's like spit before, just like coming out of their mouths when we were like close. This is before the pandemic. When we were like kind of up close and personal in people's business. So you guys don't believe me? That's okay.
I guess I'm just wondering if it's the spit that smells or if it's
it's a mixture.
Right.
It's a mixture, like with the particles in the air.
What else can it be? Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay.
She's like, we're gonna have to experiment with this, like after the pandemic, though. After.
No, do you know? I believe you. I believe you, and do you know why I believe you?
Yes.
Because I've had nights where I drool on my pillow, and then the next is the pillow smells really gross.
See,
and I have to change the cover.
See,
so I think you're right.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We're gonna just like put a whole bunch of. Do I know what the fuck I'm doing? Nope.
Oh yeah, so am I supposed to be helping?
You can if you want to, but like this is a recipe that I've memorized.
Now you have to whisk.
Yes.
Keep whisking. Yep, you're doing great. This is me contributing, guys. This is how I contribute. This is what I've got.
So like during
I know nothing about
Valentine's Day, I made this like chocolate cake. It was awesome. With this cocoa powder that it's like an organic cocoa powder, and I don't cook too much with like any cocoa powder. This is super rich, so I'm really sad that you're like not going to be able to taste this because it's really good.
So this begs the question then, Sydney, who is going to be eating the cake?
I'm going to be eating the cake.
How big will the cake be?
So I will make 2 layers because I was just like, I had converted the ingredients to be like half. And I was just like, this is too much. So I'm just going to bake 2. Not while we're on here, though. I'm going to bake the 1. But yeah, it's fine. I'll figure it out. But I think
for those watching at home, she is baking in a rice cooker.
I am baking in a rice cooker.
I had never heard of this before I talked to you. Is this a thing?
Yes. I mean, I've heard that that's a thing. Like, I don't know. Have you seen any, I don't know. Have you seen any of those like BuzzFeed videos where there's like the rice cooker recipes? Because like these are, I don't know if this is like the industry like size, because of course like there are, like the more popular ones, of course, like in China and Japan and different places and things. But I know that some of them might be a little bit smaller. Some might be a little bit more like bigger industrial size or whatever. And of course, like only, you use that for rice and everything. But just America, we use them for different things. This one has a tray to steam frozen vegetables on top of the rice when you're cooking it. So
that's nice. I like that.
This could be used for a bunch of different things. So like, I'm not gonna like, well, I can take this out because it's fine. So I've like slathered the pot with like butter so this doesn't stick to the pan. I can't know if you see it. But that's what's like warming up in the pan right now. So this is hot. This is like live, like it's ready. All I gotta do is just like mix everything, then it'll be fine.
This is great. You know, you said like, oh, have you seen those HuffPost things? And I just started thinking of like all those videos of like white ladies in like exercise pants, like yoga pants.
Yes.
Like just like being like, oh, here's a life hack for whatever.
Yes.
And then is it like that? Is that kind of?
I mean, I don't think so. Maybe this is like a I don't know if it was like caught on because like college students do it because it's like I don't know. I don't want to like have any like assumptions or anything. Just I know that because I live in a small apartment here, so like this looks like wide and gorgeous and everything, but like literally my bed is across like the room like right here. So I'm staring at my bed right now. And I don't have like a huge space, and I'm okay with that just because like I don't need a whole bunch of space. And so I've like been able to kind of like maximize what I have just like with the little like stupid hacks that of course like you find out in college and blah, blah, blah. So
yeah, nice.
I like to bake when I'm stressed. So I don't like normally bake. I love to cook and everything, but I've just kind of like learned to like just if I don't feel like using the oven and like making that big effort, I will go to my
do you need to be like I have to ask, like in order for you to bake effectively, do you need to be stressed to bake effectively? Because if you do, I can make this a lot more stressful.
Please don't.
I can amp it up.
No, don't
like,
do that. Don't do that. I think we're good. No.
That's not how you whisk. What are you doing? Everyone is watching right now, Sydney. What are you doing? You're gonna whisk better
oh my
than
God. No. I think we're good. No.
Are you about to pour that in? Because if you're going to pour that in, you better do it properly.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not just because I just put in a shit ton of baking powder. We're going to make this extra fluffy. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
I feel sorry for anyone who actually tuned into this to work out how to make red velvet cake.
Okay, so I have the recipe. I feel like I'm a baking genius. So I don't need it, but I will link the recipe that I'm following in the description box below after this, so you guys can like follow along. Nice. Because I'm on the step now where I put in the flour. That's 2.5 cups, 1.5 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of the unsweetened baking cocoa. The baking powder I just put in, and I probably put in too much, but I don't care because I want this extra fluffy. And then what else? I might need a teaspoon of salt, but we might finagle that one. I don't know if we need any salt in this, but we do need vegetable oil. So I am going to make sure that I have a thing for vegetable oil. So there's that. What else should we talk about here?
That's great. I love how the moment I said that, you went like instantly into like Martha Stewart mode. You're like, okay, here's how I do everything.
Here's how you do everything. She's pretty gangster, so she's pretty cool.
I know nothing about Martha Stewart except that all I know is that every single American series I've ever viewed, whenever someone does something domestic, they say that that's like Martha Stewart, and that's literally all I know about Martha Stewart.
I mean, she's like this baking and home like goods kind of like genius, and just everything that she does is like pretty gangster, especially now that she went to jail. She got out, came back. She went to jail.
What?
I forgot why. Can somebody look up like on the stream, like why did she go to jail?
I bet you was shoplifting. What do you want to bet?
No, it's not shoplifting. It was worse. It was something else, and she didn't rat anybody out. I forgot why. Like she's super gangster. It's great.
Why did she go to jail?
I don't know. Like somebody looked that up.
Financial crimes. Ooh.
Wait, what'd she do?
Trading. Something to do with stock trading. Insider trading.
And she didn't rat out anybody, and she served her full time, and then she like got a show. She got a show with Snoop Dogg afterwards. That's what happened.
That's amazing.
That's what happened. So, oh, my buttermilk. That's what I forgot. That's what I forgot. So I'm like, I'm all good here, guys. I promise.
I'm learning. I'm learning about American culture, you guys. I'm learning significant things here.
I It's fine. So you have now figured out that like I am a person that likes to have an electric kettle. Martha Stewart went to jail, and she
I'm
now
learning
has
a
a
lot
show
about
with
you.
Snoop Dogg. So
Yes, I know so much. This is the weird thing, though, about like the way in which American culture is exported to the rest of the world. I swear I know a lot more about Snoop Dogg than I know about Martha Stewart.
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. For like what reason? What is
I guess
the reason
because
for
I've heard
that?
his songs for one thing. And
That's insane. That's insane that you would know that.
but it's very odd. I mean, I find it very funny. Like, for example, what is it? Like, what's a good example? There are so many brands, so many American brands, and I can't think of a specific one off the top of my head right now that I know the names of, but I literally don't know what they are or like anything about them because people in sitcoms and movies mention them. Oh, here's one. I just need to drop down to Tesco. What the fuck is Tesco? I don't know what Tesco is.
I think that's a gas station. Tesco?
How do I know? I've heard that one.
Tesco.
And maybe, I don't even know if that's American. It could even be a British. Who knows?
I don't think that's, like, is that, who knows? Who knows? Comment. Come on, guys, comment. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
What is this?
Tesco. No, I'll find out. But anyway, like there are a bunch of them. No, it is. It's American. It's like it's British multinational. There you go. Well, there's an example.
Oh my God.
But I get the same thing with American brands. And like there was one that was like, it turns out it was a brand of pharmacy, and I had no idea. But anyway, there are so many, and like you hear them in sitcoms and movies, and you're like, I don't know what that is. But then when I went to the States, I would like see one, and I'd be like, oh,
yep.
Like House of Pancakes, I think was one.
Yeah, IHOP.
Yeah, International House of Pancakes that no one outside of the States has heard of.
Nope.
Yes.
That's it. That's
so international.
It's a thing here, and that's about it. Tesco is a supermarket chain in the U. Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my bad. Wrong country. Same principle.
Didn't know that, and you know that's okay. What else? Like what?
Okay, here's another thing. When I went to the States, we were at a drive-through, and we were getting up close to the window. This was not KFC. It was another type of chicken place. I can't remember.
Was it Popeyes?
Yeah, you know what? For the sake of the story, let's just say it was Popeyes.
Okay.
And anyway, we were coming up to the window, and they were like, "Oh, so do you want dark meat or light?" And I'm like, "What is that?" And like, I want the thigh or the leg. And they're like, and they were like, "What's the leg?" And I was like, "What's the leg? It's the leg of the chicken." Like, and they're like, "Oh, is that light meat or dark meat?" I'm like, I don't know what light meat and dark meat are. Like, what is this? And they're like, there's this huge, like, this is a car full of singers, because I was there for singing.
Right.
And we're all like, everyone's just like, what do we get her? What do we get her? I don't know what to get. So they got me
like
dark
that's
meat.
the different cut, I think, of the meat that's like on the chicken.
I found out later what it is. And the leg or the thigh is the dark meat.
Right.
And the breast is the white meat or light meat. But I had no idea. I'd never heard this terminology before in my life.
That's so interesting. That's fascinating.
It was so weird to me. And I told the story to my husband, who's also Australian, and he was like, what's light meat and dark meat? Like, he also was just like completely confused. Like, this is not a thing. As far as I know it outside of the States. I mean, maybe Canada. I don't really know what the relationship is there. But
I wouldn't know either. I wouldn't know either.
I don't know.
We're talking tech, guys. We promise. We promise.
Oh yeah, talking tech. Talking tech. So
that's fascinating, though. That's hilarious. I'm so sorry. Please, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, let's talk deep Java. Like,
please no. Please God no. What are some questions that people have like in the comments and everything? Like,
yeah, I'll tell you what, everyone can have a little think about their comments, and I'm going to refill my wine, and then I'll be right back.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
how it's gonna work. You can tell them what you're doing because I know I've just been like.
So
We don't
okay,
actually
I have made sure that I put in the cocoa already. I put in the vegetable oil. I just put in the buttermilk, and I need a teaspoon of vanilla as well as some of the food coloring. And I've already put in the 2 eggs. So this whole time that we've been talking, nothing about tech, which is it's fine. We all need a break. I've already done that, and I've also put a little bit of the extra buttermilk in my other bowl so I can make some like really thick, nice frosting. And this pan is like ready. What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? I'm gonna put a little bit of vanilla in here, and then I'm going to maybe drink a little bit more. So there's that. I'm gonna make sure that this is mixed really good. And this is some nice looking cake batter, and it smells really good. So that's also, maybe I'll put a little bit more sugar in there. This is how I bake. My boyfriend's just like looking at me face palming probably, and it's just like, what the fuck is she doing? What the fuck is she doing? This is normal. This is normal. He knows.
Is this Ryan?
Wait, what? Are you guessing? Don't guess. Oh my god, hi Ryan, how are you? No, it's not Ryan.
I just heard my boyfriend stumbled in, and then I read Ryan Little. What have I stumbled upon here?
Ryan Little. Okay, I hope that you have seen my my previous video, Ryan, because I did like a whole Stan crush like thing, like in my last video, just like how I love your music. So please watch that. Please share it with your friends. Ryan Little is one of the music producers that I use for my videos. So if you guys like haven't checked him out, please do. He's really great. All of his shit is fire. So he watches all my videos, and I just like I am drunk baking here and talking about tech, Ryan. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm yet to. I can't quite convince her to put the limerita in the cake mix yet.
Oh my god! Please, let's not do that. Let's not kill everybody here. Everybody they'll be talking about this for like years. Like my baking reputation will be ruined. Ruined. Out like just like, no. Let's not do that.
Here's how to cook a red velvet cake. Now, as you know, the secret ingredient is limerita.
Let's not do that. Okay, I'm gonna add just like a little bit more flour for some thickness, yes. And then this should be ready. This should be ready.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was just thinking. I was like, if you need more thickness, you should add more flour because I know a lot about baking.
I pretend like I know, but just it's about like this looks really great. I feel like I don't know.
That does look very good. That looks very good.
I'm glad that I didn't drop it because I was trying my best not to.
Okay,
and there's somebody sawing outside of my window. Like, I don't know how I get shit done. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear the sawing?
No, what's happening?
They're renovating like one of the homes like next to mine, and they're sawing, and it's great. So okay, it's fine. It's fine. They're like sawing wood. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Okay, this is ready. This pot has been like super hot and it's waiting for this. So this is ready to go in, I believe. It smells great. Yes. I'm always like, does it need a little bit more sugar? And it probably doesn't. So I'm not going to do that. Not this time. Because last time I made a chocolate cake, I just like basically gave myself a sugar rush because it was so like thick and like rich. So let's not do that. But I've already put the vanilla in and I've put the eggs in. So we're going to do this. Who has like other questions for us? Because all we're doing is chilling.
I mean, that's the best. I mean, this is a great Sunday night. I've added some strawberry into my white wine randomly.
Ew, fancy.
Yes.
Very
well, I mean,
fancy.
It's probably very like all the wine snobs are like just like what? Why? Oh, look at that.
That's beautiful.
I love the drippy edges.
I know, yes. Right?
Oh my god, I want to lick a spoon.
I'm so sorry you can't lick the spoon. And it's like egg product in here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is going to be fire. This is going to be great.
Yes.
This
Hang on, I better do my fire dance.
Okay, now we're just gonna put this in. That's it. That's the magic. I will make sure that this is like on the right temperature and everything, but that's about it. Now we wait.
Amazing.
Now we
30
wait.
minutes.
What'd you say?
30 minutes, does it say? 30 minutes?
Yeah, and it'll probably like be to where it like stays warm. So yeah, about 30 minutes, but it probably won't take that long. So we'll see what happens. But there's flour all over the fucking place. Woo!
Woo!
That's why I put down the napkins. I was like, I'm not
there's
want to clean this up later.
There are so many recipes, and I include pretty much all of baking in this as well, that are in and of themselves very simple, but the amount of mess they make them not worth it. You know, I'm thinking of new pancakes. I love pancakes. They are so easy to make, and yet I just feel like I'm constantly cleaning up afterwards.
Do you prefer pancakes or waffles? This is a debate that I'm like still having with people. Oh, you know what I forgot to do?
Uh-oh. Did you not put any yeast in?
I didn't put any dye in it.
Dye?
I just made a chocolate cake.
You just made a chocolate cake.
I just made a chocolate cake. I didn't even put any of the little like red dye in it because I couldn't find any beet juice. Somebody was like, make it organic, and just I couldn't. So oh well, it's a chocolate cake, guys. It's not red velvet anymore. But I will make the second layer.
I was gonna say, are you gonna like put it in now, or is it too late?
It's totally too late. I'm gonna make the second layer red and see how that works.
This can be the proof, though. You know, you can say I made these the same way.
Oh my god, this looks like blood. What is going on here?
Show us your cauldron of doom, which
look at this shit. What that looks
Whoa.
What is this?
Bubble, toil, and
that looks like you should not be using this at all for anything. That looks that's a great red. That red dye 40, yo. That red dye 40 from
Red Dye 40
beets and like bad chemicals. It's like just like guts or something. I don't know what it is.
I think isn't that the one that like heaps of people are allergic to as well? Because it's probably got.
I don't know what the fuck people are. Just I don't care. I don't know.
It doesn't matter because you're the one eating it. So I mean,
I don't know. I was hoping that I would find beet juice, but oh well. So it's fine. I wanted it to be like, you know, not with any like red dye 40 or what is this? Propylene glycol reds 40 and 3 and
that's the stuff that's in my shampoo.
I hope not.
Pretty sure.
But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it is. Like, that's a beautiful red. I like that.
It's much less bloody now. Now it's kind of
it's calmed down. It doesn't, you know,
it relaxed a little.
I was gonna say something inappropriate. So I'm gonna refrain from that so people won't unfollow me. I should post every day, but you know, just like maybe not on this maybe not here.
Oh my
goodness. So we're gonna put this to the side, like right here somewhere.
Great.
And like put all this like away because I don't like need the cartons anymore. But like, let's talk a little bit about tech. So let's just because like we said that this is baking and talking tech. This is not how that's like gone. So if you guys do have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat. This is so hilarious. Like people are like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on with these two right now? I'm so sorry. We love you and we're sorry.
I mean, no, you know what? I don't love you and I'm not sorry because
Anna said it here first. I didn't say shit.
Because one, I don't know you, so sorry.
That's fair.
I love you.
That's fair.
And secondly, this is just us hanging out, and you guys have the privilege to tune in and hang out with us and witness the magic. And if it makes no sense and you hate it, then I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry.
Fine. That's totally fine. I'm okay with that. But So I really do want to know though, how was your first week? Like it's official now. You have like
Hang on. We got a guest.
Oh, we have a guest.
A guest appearance. No, bring that on with you. I'm not that one though. This is my husband.
Hello, husband.
Hi.
We're just here drunk baking. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Enjoying
Cheers.
In the wine drinking or just the general merriment.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. She's making red velvet cake. She's like super talented.
Oh.
I do my best. I do my best.
I know. I thought it was also the same as our pressure cooker, but it's not. It's a rice cooker. Yeah. He thought it was do you remember how I told you, Sydney? At the beginning, I was like, oh my God, that's out. No, wait, it's not. It's the same.
It's a rice cooker. It's just like one of the American ones. It's not really authentic or cool or anything. Just, it does everything, you know.
I don't know what an authentic rice cooker is, so I'm sure that's fine.
It's not something that is from America, I'll tell you that. That's what that is. It's not something that you buy here. It's...
Well, I hope you're having fun, and looks pretty cool what you're baking.
I do my best. Thank you very much. Thank you for letting us have her on so late at night. Oh my goodness, that was a treat.
You find out where she lives as well?
Did I find out where she lives? She told me, but I forgot. I told her I can't remember anything.
I am in the middle of the United States. I'm in Missouri, so
Missouri.
You know,
that was what I said.
Missouri.
I said Missouri. That was the second.
I'm in Missouri, but
first I said Florida, and then I said Missouri.
No, so I'm going to be like moving closer to Florida. I'll be like moving to Atlanta in the summer.
Florida. There you go. That's the connection.
So that'll be fun. I'm very excited about that.
That's really exciting. So what's happening there? Why is that happening?
So this definitely has something to do with tech, so I'll talk about it.
Yay!
So I've 2020 was like the year of like a bunch of realizations and things and all that fun stuff. I have met a lot of people that are from or at least like have like kind of migrated to Atlanta that are Black, that are in tech, that are doing entrepreneurial things. And first off, I used to live there. I lived there when I was a child, when I was like growing up. And so we came back to Missouri, where like I'm from, just because my grandparents had gotten sick. They were old, and of course, just spent their like last years with them and everything like that. And I just never left. So that's kind of like my story with that. And it's been kind of a very big need, or like a change of pace that I've needed to like actually feel a lot more like better about like kind of upping what I want to do when it comes to my content, my career, and I want more friends. So I'm like moving to a new state to like kind of like help make that happen. And honestly, like I've been wanting to leave for a while and just like never had the gumption to do it. And now this is just like, this is the perfect time to do it, because why not?
Right.
Just
now
go for it.
I am relatively ignorant when it comes to the states, but when I hear the word Missouri, I think like a little bit country bumpkin. Am I on the right track? Like I'm just saying, I'm speaking as an ignorant foreigner who doesn't really know.
It's very family oriented. I'll say that. I won't be like too bad about it, but depending on like where you go, yes, that might be the case.
Okay.
But I am in St. Louis, and it's not really that way, but like it can be. And this is definitely a family city. I'll say that. Like,
okay, all right.
I'll say it's a family city. But I am legally single and I have no children. So like this isn't a very fun place to like be, except for when you're a college
it's not hip
student.
and happening is what you're saying.
There's not much like hip and happening for me.
I've been to Atlanta, and it is definitely like stuff is happening.
Stuff is happening there, and I used to live there, so like I know what's going on there. I haven't lived there as an adult, so that would be very nice to live there as an adult and just kind of like see what's happening there. See what's popping off. But I've done everything here, And except for like actually just like settling down and growing roots here and having a baby. And I don't think that any of that is wrong. Like, let me just like say that right now to like my audience and universe and everything. Like, kudos to you with children. I love your babies. I love them. But I also, I love the joy of giving them back to you. I love the joy that I feel giving your children back to you. I will play with them for as long as they want. But then when it is time to go, I feel so good about giving your children back to their parents. And that just like proves that I'm not mature enough yet to be like a baby. My child?
No, not yet. Yeah.
No. And you like, this isn't a tech hub. that is also a thing. There are a couple of like really great companies here, but I'm looking to expand. So there's more stuff that's going to be happening very soon. So stay tuned. But
okay, so there is more than just like I want to make some friends. I'm moving to Atlanta. There's
100%.
other things
that is definitely
we
like
just can't talk about yet. Is that?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Is that the idea? Like, is there more to say about why, or no?
They're just, it's not that anything that I would be okay with saying right now, but there's more stuff coming. So just like stay tuned and everything. So I'll tell you when I'm ready and it'll be good. Cody says, once you go out of St. Louis and Kansas City, Missouri, it's pretty rural pretty quickly. He's right. There's like cornfields and there's soy fields and then there's farms.
Kansas was a state.
Wait, what?
I thought Kansas was a state. Is Kansas not a state?
Kansas City is a city in Missouri as well as a city in Kansas. And then there's the whole state of Kansas. So I'm confused.
Why?
We don't know. We really, Missourians don't know. So
this is like how there are two Washingtons and I will never forgive you.
Yes. That's exactly it. There's Washington State and then Washington, D.C. It's a whole other like district. But he's right. So
apparently.
If you keep going west for 3 hours, you'll hit Kansas City. And Kansas City is divided into two. There's a Kansas City, Kansas, and a Kansas City, Missouri. And so, but it's like right there. They're right on top of each other. That's the thing.
Right. That's why it's really like one city, but just in two different states.
You could say that, but then when you start talking about baseball, people will say two completely different things. So, like
another sport that is mysterious to me. Yes,
it is America's game. I promise that I'm not trying to trash on America.
Does not feature the world.
Like we're the world champions of baseball and basketball and football and what else? A bunch of other stuff, and yet like we only have that stuff here. We just, I don't get it. I don't get it, but it's not for me. It's not for me to understand. I totally understand.
You're definitely the world champions at cornhole. Is it called cornhole? Is that what it's called?
Yes, that's exactly what it's called.
I'm so proud of myself for remembering that.
Wait, does anybody know in the chat, was like, is cornhole really popular in Missouri? I feel like that is.
I discovered cornhole in Atlanta.
Really?
Yes. I went to Atlanta. I stayed with a friend.
Yeah.
And we went to a brewery and this guy was hitting on me and he said, "Have you ever played cornhole?" And I said, "Is that a euphemism?" And then he took me out the back, and that sounds bad, but he took me out the back of the brewery where there were like 50 people all playing like different games of cornhole.
Oh my God. I thought that was like a big thing here, and apparently it's not. So, yeah. Wow. Just.
So that was my experience of cornhole.
Oh my God. Just like, why? Just why?
So thanks to that guy for hitting on me, because I would never have discovered cornhole.
Did you at least get a free drink from him?
I don't remember. That's probably a yes, I guess, if I don't remember.
Good girl.
I don't remember. I'm too old for that shit.
Did I tell you guys that just like I should post all the time? So just you're getting it all right here. Just
Getting all of it.
all of it. Oh my goodness. We totally like went left on the subject. I want to know how your first week went.
Wasn't that like half an hour ago that you asked me that question?
Yes.
You're amazing. Yeah, my first week went great. I mean, I did a little YouTube live on Friday as well, where I talked more about it. But the general gist of it is I feel super supported, and the pressure is relatively low, and I'm basically just I mean, like, they have kind of like a special program for people who have just joined the company where they get you up to speed technologically with the stack that they use for most of their projects, and then you can be in that project for, I guess, as long as you need until you feel like you're ready to kind of expand out. And so it's pretty low pressure. Like, I just got to keep learning and growing. So I spent my first week learning Java, so now that's done.
That makes sense.
So when I say learning Java, of course, I mean like learning syntax, not like actually becoming proficient in the language.
Just like at least being able to recognize it. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And also like do lots of little exercises, like create a random dice game and guess a number game, and all that kind of stuff that teaches you how to cover the basics. Learning basic data structures, all that kind of jazz. And then I finished, I had already done a little bit of preparation on that before I started the job, because I knew I was going to be working with Java. So it wasn't completely out of left field. Then I finished that on Friday. So really I had about two and a half days. I did that in 2.5 days.
That's awesome.
And then now I'm moving on to Kotlin, which I've only done about 2 hours on so far, but I'm really liking that it seems like it's got the power of Java combined with some more flexibility, like with JavaScript. And there are a lot of similarities to JavaScript that I've already seen just in my brief review
with Kotlin.
of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so things like using switches for expressions. I know that they have that in like Java 14 or something, but it seems to be kind of inbuilt into Kotlin as a standard kind of thing.
Fantastic.
So stuff like that I can do, that I'm so used to doing from JavaScript. And also I've heard that, and this I didn't know, but Simon Weller told me this in one of his comments on my videos, that he said that the other thing is that you can stack things like array methods. You can just do like dot whatever, and that's really cool, like JavaScript, which is really cool. You don't have to use like streams or anything fancy.
That I don't like streams. I don't like them. What do you guys think? Because I don't like them, but that is just me. I'll let you talk.
I'm not experienced enough yet to have opinions on any of this. I'm just kind of like, okay, that's the thing. Okay, that's the thing too. Great, like let's move on. So I don't really have opinions yet, but I'm sure I will soon enough.
What are you really hoping to learn as you're kind of like growing? What's like something that you're super, super excited about to learn?
That's a really good question. I feel kind of ill-equipped to answer it because I don't feel like I'm familiar enough with everything I can learn in a way to tell you what I want to learn.
Yeah, that's
do you know what I mean? It's kind of like I don't know what I don't know kind of situation. I will say that I'm really interested in working with cloud technologies more. I'm definitely more interested in the back end than the front end so far.
I see.
Because I'm not great from a design. I'm not good at design or in any way, and I struggle to understand the logic of a lot of CSS, for example.
That's so interesting. I don't feel like I will fully admit that I feel like I am not like super like expertise or extra strong on like either like end. I feel like I know enough to be dangerous, if that makes any sense. And I don't know if that's just because like I am still trying to figure out like what my confidence level is, kind of like going into some of these like other tools. I feel like with my current job, we are working with like Java 8 and Spring and what is it, JSP, and that's like it. And that doesn't really give you a whole bunch of room to kind of go in and talk about like, what can we do with Docker when it comes to some of these like microservices? What can we do to like, we're kind of dealing with like 15-year-old code, and it's just very fascinating. And so I feel like in some ways, as you're kind of like growing into like your job space, like being able to be like a consultant and like doing kind of this like contract work will really help you kind of expand like where you think that your feeling of like what you prefer front end or back end is going to like elevate a little bit more. And depending on like where you are kind of like in your career, I feel like in some cases, like depending on like what you kind of do like in your job, you're gonna be either like closed into like whatever like you've been trained for, just like for however long, and then you're gonna almost like miss out on some of like the newer technologies depending on the company that you're at. And like this might be a hot take, oh well, but I like there are a lot of things that I would like really love to get to know about JavaScript a little bit better. Especially with TypeScript. So I'm like, you're saying like Kotlin is just kind of like that like nice and mature version of Java, and like JavaScript if they had a baby. So I'm just like, oh, and like it's shiny object syndrome, I swear. And so I've been feeling that more and more. So I'm super excited to like hear what more you're going to be doing. But I also hope that you don't like get shiny object syndrome as like I do.
Well, I mean, the great thing about the company that I'm with is that they have like, so I'm in the software engineering division. So I just work on whatever the project they give me. That'll probably be the case for a while. And then later on, like not later on necessarily, but they also have parallel to that, the consultancy, that works with other companies and helps them on that. But they have it on a huge range of things, everything from like agile work practices to cloud computing to containerization to, I guess, DevOps, everything that you can imagine a company needs to deal with in IT, they consult on. And they are happy for their employees to move between those different divisions.
That's amazing.
As they see fit. So that's why I guess I'm not feeling a lot of pressure right now to choose as well, because I'm kind of like, I'll just go along with it and I'll see what takes my fancy, and maybe shiny object syndrome will be a good thing because I get me some experience in other areas. But certainly I'm very interested in areas that I have no experience in, so things like VR and AI, and also language processing is something that really interests me.
Ooh, I've definitely that's a shiny object for me.
Yeah.
That's been a shiny object for me where I'm just like, no, please dip back. Please dip back. Just, it's fine. I'll figure it out eventually. Like doing stuff with data science I've thought about doing. Like I had a moment in 2020 where I was just like, should I just start learning Python? And just like, it's just Java for me has been like, I've had like this love-hate relationship with Java. And like, I don't like that people know that I'm just like, oh, when I look at it, but that's kind of like how I've been for a while. And, people know my feelings now. So, oh well, but I think that you might be there, you might not. And so you're going to figure it out. Everything is going to get figured out. And I'm really excited for like more stuff that you'll be able to share.
But tell us, like, did you decide to learn Python or what?
No. And the reason why I say that is because like Twitter has like, I feel like has diagnosed me with ADHD, and like, and I say that because I think that I do need to get tested because of different like symptoms that I feel like I've been showing, and like how the pandemic has like kind of brought that to light. And so I'm visiting my doctor next week on like what I can do about this. So I got the symptoms like written down and everything. So I'm just going to be like, hey, am I okay, doc? But I feel like when it comes to my shiny object syndrome, I will do so much to invest into it, and it's either it's going to get far, and I'm going to have like all this momentum, and then I burn out, or when I start kind of doing stuff very gradually, I'll get bored. And so I don't know if that has like anything to do with it, but I realize that because I know Java and I am more proficient in JavaScript, I really need to find a balance on how I can make those two kind of like grow for me, and what I can do with the technologies that I know now to help me kind of expand my career, if that makes any sense. So going into, I've experimented a little bit with Vue, and I don't like it as much, but I've also been told that I know Angular. I don't like how like this is a hot take. This is a hot take, so don't hate me for it, guys. I don't like how out of the box it doesn't feel like it runs very efficiently. And maybe that has been my experience, just because like I felt like I knew what I was doing, then like I didn't know what I was doing. So there's that. But then like React has a bigger learning curve, I also feel like. And so being able to teach my students Angular and then kind of like boost them up to React has been like the better path. But I think that I'm going to stick with like pushing through with React, figuring out some more stuff with GraphQL for JavaScript as well as Java, and then figure out more stuff with Spring Boot, because I didn't realize, one of the other things that I didn't realize when you get into the tech industry is that you don't just start spinning up like new projects. You were literally babysitting old code. Like you're maintaining it, you're doing all of these things to just like maintain whatever is there and potentially improve on it. But I didn't realize that like you weren't being able to like spin up like just new projects and like do these like innovative things because you had to build off the tree that's already there. And that was one of like the biggest things that I didn't realize. So I forgot where I was going with that, but no, I can't have that like shiny object syndrome like very long, because it will divert me from where I'm actually going to go, and then I'll just be confused and it'll just not be fun.
It's interesting what you say about React though, because I was talking to someone, I can't remember whom, in my company, and I said, I know a little bit of React, and they're like, oh great, maybe you could help us with this thing. I'm like, whoa. I was like, okay. I was like, when I say it, I maybe know like 60% of React, and they're like, oh, that's great. Yeah, like that would be amazing. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well,
oh boy.
Because I don't think anyone really knows it. Like, I think or maybe everyone does know it and everyone feels like they don't know it.
I feel like that's a thing. I feel like that's a thing with me.
I think that's the thing. That's how I feel I am, because I love React. Like if I had to use a project, like if I had to make a project from scratch, I would always choose React because it's my default. And yet, if you ask me if I know React, I'm like, well, yeah, I kind of know React, but I don't know if I want to like say that I'm like, know React.
It's so nice to be able to like.
I probably do.
It's so nice to be able to like easily spin up like the front end with it.
Yeah.
I feel like, and again, this is me being like incredibly opinionated and hot takey and a little biased, because like I've struggled in the past with Angular before, but I don't know, just it's so cool having that like analytical side of being able to work with Java or JavaScript on the back end, or Node, like let's just say Node, and then being able to have that kind of instant gratification, like immediately you start doing something with React and it's like, oh, hey, here I am. Like that makes me feel good. And it probably, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of how I got into programming in the first place, is that like that immediate kind of, that like immediate gratification that I've been able to see that like my work is actually changing and actually doing something is so like, I really hope that people that are like watching this, or at least like, kind of thinking about programming, like that's okay. That's okay to have that like need for that, like, oh, like it's green, something's working. You know, I love that feeling. But I don't think that for me, that I think that this is why I haven't like chosen like either a front end developer or back end developer, because one, I don't feel like I'm an expert at either. What is that? The jack of all trades, master of none. There's like more to that saying or whatever, but I feel like I know enough knowledge of both to be like, okay, I think I know what I'm doing, and there needs to be like more progress on like both ends, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I call myself a Jill of all trades. For what it's worth.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
I love that.
I've used that a lot in my life, but I feel that for sure. And actually that instinct to dip your fingers and toes in lots and lots of different things. Yeah. That's actually part of why I decided to focus on software engineering, or why I decided to go into programming.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I have tried many, many different things in my life, and it's kind of always been this one thread has been my interest and love of technology, and it's kind of always kind of threaded its way through everything I've done.
I see.
And then I was like, you know what, I need to consolidate this into something I can become an expert in.
Right.
Because otherwise, like, this world does not reward like Renaissance men, so to speak, you know, or Renaissance women in this case.
Right.
You know, it doesn't reward, it rewards experts. Like, that's all there is to it. And so I know that that's what I'm going to do, and then use like speaking at conferences and events and boot camps and things like this, you know, like doing YouTube videos and stuff as well is like going to be my outlet for all that creative, hyper crazy, like I shouldn't say crazy, hyper wild energy that I have inside myself that I need to get out.
And so like
not come out in code.
I agree, because I'm assuming that you felt the same way based on like what you've told me with your story, is that like you had that analytical side that needed that that needed a little bit of room for that creativity. And so like that transition is first off awesome, but second off, like I feel like maybe that's kind of like where the balance is, that I feel like I finally have gotten a balance where it was a little bit kind of like to the side a little bit and then to the other side, and where I was in marching band for years. I taught, I did a bunch of stuff with color guard. I would dance. And
what's color guard? Sorry.
Oh, so my bad. So, okay. Have you seen any like American marching bands at all? Like at all?
Yeah, I mean, like in movies, I guess.
Okay, so what the color guard is this is based on like a very old military tradition where some of the soldiers would have these like banners and flags, and it's turned into a thing where it is, you're not like just marching with them, you're spinning them, you're tossing them, you're able to kind of like toss them in the air, different stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's more to it. There's like there's marching band color guard, and then there's a whole subsection of it where it's like lyrical dancing with these swords and these like wooden guns in the air. So I know how to do all that shit. So
you're amazing.
And I used to teach it to these high school students too. So just
that's amazing. Oh my god, that's amazing.
So it like, back to my point, because it's hilarious, like having to think about like where I've gone and like where I've been to kind of now. I had needed that like analytical balance and had like all of the creative balance that I wanted. But first off, I wasn't getting paid a whole bunch of money, because instructors don't get paid a whole bunch of money for that. And,
unlike classical singers who get a lot of money. Super glamorous, by the way.
So glamorous. Drink. Basically, but then you have you need that balance, and I feel like a lot of people have that, and so I'm just really glad that we've been able to start making content that hopefully is like useful to people, because sometimes I wonder, like, is this shit useful? Like, is that 7 people are watching this? So
okay,
like, it's somewhat useful?
Spoiler alert, honey. This is not useful. You know what? This is not useful. This is lots of fun, but it is useless.
Damn it. This is supposed to be a very good and educational and wholesome piece of content. I mean, that's a lie, but
no,
it's fine.
I totally understand what you're saying, and I feel the same way. Like, it's, I as I said before, I loved the creative outlet of opera. I don't actually consider myself a very creative person.
Really?
Because, I mean, well, the good thing about classical music, unlike things like jazz, for example, is that it doesn't involve a lot. Like, as a musician, you just do what's on the page.
Right.
Like, and you do what other people tell you to do with it. And there are obviously elements of self-interpretation, and there are elements of, like, where you have to bring yourself to it. But for the most part, like, everyone's trying to stay within the same system and to the same rules.
I see.
So it's actually very regimented. And this is why I was talking before about the concept of syntax and how I feel like opera and programming actually have a lot in common, because it really is a lot about, like, knowing the rules, and you have to follow certain rules. And if you don't follow certain rules, things will just break.
I see.
You know, and they just fall apart. And what you do within that is the art, but for the most part, you still have to stick to those rules, right? Like, you can't just not add a semicolon in Java. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's an incredible metaphor. No, I get it.
So I actually don't consider myself super, super creative, but I am good at letting out whatever is inside. I'm extroverted, right? And I'm a performer. Like, I can perform. I don't consider myself creative in terms of creating new things, but I don't know how to distinguish the two, but I think you know what I mean. Like,
no, I totally get it. Yeah, I definitely do. That's funny, because I consider myself fairly introverted, especially now that, like, the pandemic has been raging on, and, like, was like a closeted introvert. I felt like I had to be very extroverted with, like, friends and, like, things. That's a thing.
Yeah, sure.
That's the thing I feel like. And now I'm just like, I am so comfortable chilling at home.
Yes.
Like, yes, the world is ending. Let me just chill.
Yeah.
Let me chill. That's horrible, but no, I totally understand. And I would love to hear, is it okay if I ask you, like, what was...
You can ask me literally anything. Literally.
What was a day in the life for you as a singer? I would really love to hear this.
Yeah, sure. So I'll take one of my times when I was working at the theatre. I was in the opera chorus. So the standard day for us would start at 10 a.m. So we would have a rehearsal, what's called in the chorus room, usually from I keep having to translate from the German, because of course I was working in German. So then, like, all the vocab is in German.
Right.
Anyway, so we would usually have, maybe in the morning we would have a stage rehearsal. So then we would go to the theatre and they'd have a big empty room with, like, some fake props. So the props would be all set up the same way as they'll be on the stage, but not the good stuff. It would be like, you know, rather than a nice, like, comfortable sofa or, like, a grand sofa that will be in the actual scene, it'll be like 3 chairs next to each other. You know what I mean? Okay. So everything's in the same place. It's like a mock set. Everything's in the same place and the same heights and everything.
Right.
But shit. And then you would practice on that set. So we would run through different scenes. We'd know for the day what scene we were working on, so you could prepare a little bit. But every week's schedule only came out the week before. So you literally wouldn't know what days or times you were working until 1 week before, which makes scheduling anything else in your life basically impossible.
Wow.
And then we would do that rehearsal normally from 10 till 1. So that would normally have a piano, the conductor would be there, and the director.
I see.
And then they would talk you through how to do everything. You'd go over different sections. And then, we'd have usually a 15 to 20-minute break somewhere in there as well. And then we wouldn't usually have anything between 1 and then the evening. And in the evening, we would either be doing more musical rehearsals. That's where you just sit in a room with the music and just go over the next piece you're going to be working on. Or we would have a performance. If we had a performance, it would normally start at 7:30. So we would turn up usually around 6:30.
I see.
Depending on how much makeup and hair and costume was needed. There's a schedule for what time you get your makeup done. Or not your makeup, sorry, your hair done for different things. You have to do your own makeup when you're in the chorus, which is the other thing. So I got very good at doing stage makeup very quickly.
Right.
I can do a full face of like stage intense. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen stage makeup.
Oh, 100% yes.
You know what I mean.
Yes.
It's not like this. It's like this on steroids.
No, like that's how it is with color guard. It's the same thing.
Yeah. So I got really good at doing that in like 10 minutes. I can do it in 10 minutes. And then, yeah, you get your hair done. You put a wig if you need one.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, costumes, we put them on ourselves in our dressing rooms. So our dressing rooms as the chorus, we'd be sharing with 4 to 5 women.
Yeah.
The soloists normally only shared with one other person. If you're a big soloist, you get your own room, but very unusual. And yeah, then we'd go on stage, perform. It would be pretty cool. Normally lots of fun, especially because being in the chorus, I find so much fun.
Yeah.
You get all like the cool like village scenes and like you're always moving around a lot and you got a lot to do, or you have to like react to the like what the soloists are doing, like, ooh. The comedies are so much fun because on the comedies you can just go completely ham.
Yeah.
Like I loved doing the comedies. I'm like my default comedic persona is the ditz. It's like that's what I always default to. So whenever there was like something on stage and the character's flirting, I'm like
I love it.
You know, I go full like, oh, big eyes, big smile.
Right.
You know, like the whole thing.
That's awesome.
So it's like it's so much fun, and then I love the big reactions.
Yeah.
You know, and you know.
Awesome.
You know, that was always the most fun. But most of the time, being that we're doing opera, they're usually a bit more serious than that.
Right.
So often we're like downtrodden villagers, and we're down on our luck, and we have to like stand there looking despondent and sad and drinking our beer, which is apple cider.
I've always wanted to know. I was sure that majority of the time, like it's either like soda or like something.
And the stuff they use for champagne tastes so off. I don't know what they are using for it, but it's not nice. It's not nice.
Oh,
because they need it to be like that light yellow color. So they must use like very little amount of apple juice. You know what I mean? And it is just, it's really gross.
I'm so sorry.
But there were some really fun ones as well. Like we had a few snow fights. Like there was one that was set in winter and we had to have snow fights with like snowballs that were made of, I don't know, like paper mache. So that when you threw it, like pieces of the paper mache would come off. So it looked like snow coming off the snowballs.
Oh.
Yeah. And we got to do a few that were like with rain, like coming down. And like there were some really cool things that we got to do. But yeah, day in the life, it was pretty, it wasn't all that interesting. I mean, it was fun. But after a while, you know, it just becomes routine, as with anything. Like, and you really don't get paid much as a singer. Yeah. Like every singer knows how to like turn it on. You know what I mean? Like wear the gown. Like we all have like 2 or 3 gowns, and we know how to do the makeup and the hair, and you know we know how to turn on the charm and do the schmoozing thing because all of the patrons, of course, are usually very rich.
Oh, of course.
And you know, typical, exactly how you picture them. Yeah.
I think that'll be me, like, when I am rich and famous and I'm able to, like, actively, like, contribute, like, thousands of dollars to PBS. If PBS ever sees this, like, I'm going to do my best.
Exactly.
I definitely enjoy the opera, and I enjoy, because I came from the arts as well, so I've always wondered, like, how that kind of works. And what do you think that you miss the most about being a singer? Just being able to perform all the time.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I haven't thought that much about it. I think for me, it's being able to see the impact you have on an audience. It's the one thing that, like, I've spoken at a few conferences and boot camps since I moved into tech, and I love it. But it's been since Corona, so I haven't actually been on a stage yet as a speaker in tech. And that's something I really, really, really look forward to. Hint, hint, anyone watching. And so I really want to be on a stage because I draw a lot of energy from an audience. Like, it's something I really draw from, and I love the applause. Like, as conceited as it sounds, there is something about just standing there and having this like wall of applause come at you.
It's
even when you're in a
wall. You are so right. It's the same thing. The first time that I went on that field when I was a freshman in marching, it was the same thing. I love the applause. I don't think that's conceited at all. I think that a true performer, like, you understand that you get that energy from your audience. Yeah. And brush my shoulders off because I was with a pretty good band at the time. So we were doing shit. It was cool. Yes. Just the wave of applause. It was warm. I felt very welcoming. I felt like I was glowing. I was in my element. Just everything that is around you just moves different. Everything is just so, you're in control of like kind of what is going on with like your body and like your kind of like mentality and things. It's not fear. It's this like adrenaline. It's this like excitement. It just feels like everything is magical. My hairs on the back of my neck were standing up, just like I had goosebumps. I will never forget that feeling. It was just exhilarating, and I chased that for years. And I wish that performers were paid a little bit more for that, because a lot of people don't know that there is a professional marching band association out there. Like they're just, it's crazy how little like instructors and things like actually get noticed for their work. And in some places, like, you age out, so you won't be able to perform again because like you're too old. So you're making sure that all the youngsters that are like good and talented are able to perform as well. And so I totally get where you're coming from there, and I don't think that it's conceited. Like, I'm absolutely the same way. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so rewarding, and especially because and it sounds like marching band is the same with opera. I mean, it is. They call it the Olympic sport of singing, and it is the level of finesse and the level of expertise that you need to just stand on that stage. Like, even as the like quote unquote lowest ranked person on that stage, if you are on that stage, you've done something amazing. Yes, like, it is hard to get there, and so when you've worked your butt off for years. And in my case, it took me, 4 years to get onto that stage in Germany anyway. Like, to hear that applause at the end, you're just like, like, I did it. Yeah. Like, this impacted someone. Like, someone in that audience has been moved, and I've been part of that. And that is, as I said, the one downside of not having an audience here, and why actually, like, I have to say, I value everyone who has been commenting. So I've been reading, like, Ryan Little and Lindsay Fisher have been saying lovely comments. I know. And I have to say, like, I value that so much, because those comments, they are the only way that we know that people like what we do. Yes. And every single YouTube video I get, every single comment I get, I read. And it is just like, I value that so much, because that's it. Like, we don't have that visual feedback. We can't see the looks on your faces as you watch our videos. We don't know if you find us funny. Yes. Like, how do I know? Like, I'm being a dork. I think I'm pretty funny, but I don't know. I know. So, like, the only way we have is with people telling us. And lots of people don't say anything. And then you're like, is it good? Is it bad? What's going on?
And I think that that's like the interesting effect of silent fans is, I think, is fascinating because, like, I know that I have been, I've realized that, like, as a silent fan, I have hopefully have like pushed some like others that I'm like absolutely obsessed with, kind of like on the map, like sharing their content and everything. But like, if you can, like, please comment, please tell us what you're thinking, like
Yes.
how you're feeling with this. If there's like any other specific content, like we promise we won't bite, and we really appreciate the feedback because it is she's absolutely right. It is right. It really helps us figure out like what else that we can do to provide that value. And yes, like we're performers at heart, so like we need to be able to have that like sort of quote unquote applause. And that's really, this is such an interesting and just like, this is such a great conversation. I'm so glad that we did this today because Lindsay said from the Midwest, she's from the Midwest and there aren't very many women here that she feels like she can talk to like about tech. And I really hope that this conversation is fruitful for you. And so thank you so much for joining us. Just like, I really hope, like, you know, after all the like the technical difficulties and like baking and things, waiting for this to like be there, like this is that camaraderie is like I'm ready to kind of like make that jump to move because I'm ready to like meet some of these like amazing people in person and just really be able to just be exposed to that energy. Because as much as I love being at home, man, like eventually I'm ready to get out and I'm ready to like socialize with the fans, with like people that just want to do the same things. So I get it.
I mean, that's the thing when we're here in Germany, I started a little like Twitter message group between me and some other women who are working in tech in Germany, specifically for that same reason. Because I'm like, I want to connect with other people, and I've been like trying to help a few of them are searching for jobs. I've been trying to help them like find work. You know, like there is so much to be said for just being aware of each other. Just being able to know that we exist. And you know, because so many women are unfortunately still are the only women in their team or the only women in their companies even sometimes. And it's like, well, how do we even, it's so easy to feel alienated by that. So I think that is, again, one thing we can be really thankful for in terms of Twitter and the online community, that we can actually just see that actually there are dozens of us.
Hundreds. There are thousands. You know, I really needed that in 2020. I really did. I was the only developer that was a woman on my team, Black woman, like, mind you, and that was frustrating. And
of course.
You know, now that we have, you know, other people that have been hired and things, like I don't get to connect with them at all because, you know, they're on different teams, there are different other circumstances, but, you know, it still feels like it's that bubble. You're going to feel like you're in that bubble. You're going to wonder like, okay, is my opinion, is my observations going to be like invalidated? There's real scenarios where it, like on Twitter, like people have definitely said that like, oh, we need to make sure that we have more training for these women for like mid and like beginner developers. It's not training that we're lacking. It's not training. It's a sense of community. It's a sense of like actually being able to get into these roles and kick some ass, take some names, and actually like feel like our opinions are like validated. You know?
And I think a lot of that comes like firstly it comes from people showing us that our opinions are valid and from showing that they respect us and want our opinions, and that it's not like, oh, we've got to tick some box, but like we actually want that in our company. We actually want that in our group socially as well. But on top of that, it also comes from self-confidence, you know, that women have to feel the confidence to apply for roles that maybe they don't tick all the boxes for. Because that's something I talk about a lot when I talk about job searching on some of my job search videos, is that like you should be applying for any job where you can tick half the boxes. Like if you fulfill 50% of the criteria, you should apply.
Yeah.
Basically. And that is not something that a lot of women will do by default. And I find that a lot of it comes down to a crisis of confidence. Like, can I apply for this? Like, will I be accepted? Can I really do this? Like,
right. Can I get my foot in the door?
And then, yeah. And then again, that does also come back to feeling welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So will I be welcome? Even if I got this job, would I be welcome? And that's a question that, like, I'm sure every type of minority and oppressed person has to think about. But unfortunately, that's the case also still for women, who are technically the majority of our society. And we have to be thinking about this. Like, am I going to be welcome in this environment? Do people actually want me there? And that's an element to our job search that a lot of, especially white men, but not only, don't really have to think about. They kind of just apply to whatever job seems suitable. They don't have to wonder, like, if I go there, are people going to look at me weird? You know? and I think that's a struggle. So on the one side, like, there's a confidence issue that comes from within, like, am I good enough? And there's a confidence issue that comes from without, which is, am I wanted? Like, am I actually going to be able to contribute safely and in a way that is welcomed by this company?
Yeah.
And I think part of that is something that we can do ourselves. You know, the inside confidence is something we can try to work on ourselves. But in the end, it also, like, it has to come from outside as well. You know, there's no other way to do it. But in both senses and from both sides, the thing that helps is having other women that you can see doing it. Like, and you can say, oh yeah, like, I'm definitely not the only one.
Yeah.
And the really sad thing about when I first joined tech Twitter, I really noticed straight away that, like, I followed, like, I went to all those, you know, people would post like, oh, if you're going to follow 10 people in tech, follow these people or whatever.
Oh yeah.
These threads happen all the time, you know, all those things. And I would follow them always because I was like, I don't know anything about tech, sure. Like, I don't know, follow this person, follow this person. And, like, inevitably I ended up with, you know, 40 or 50 white dudes. And like, I had to really go out of my way to find people who would then lead me to other people, like finding, for example, Angie Jones and Paris Athena, and, like, actually finding people who would expand my conception as well of what a programmer looked like.
Right.
And once I started finding those people, I could go, okay, I'm not alone. I will be welcome. There are other people like me.
Right.
This is not so unusual, because I was also like, okay, I'm in my early 30s and a mom. Like, should I be in my early 20s? Like, is it too late for me?
Right.
That was something I was thinking. And now I look at that and I go, what were you thinking? The early 30s, like, who cares? You know, but at the time I was really worried about that.
Right.
Because I still had this idea in my mind that programmers are young dudes in their early 20s or late teens. Like, white dudes, especially.
Yeah.
And so, like, this idea that I could come in, you know, as a mum in her 30s.
Right.
You know, even though by every other demographic, I guess I'm typical, you know, it still was like, is this something where I'm going to be welcome? And seeing those other women doing, this is my long-winded way of saying, seeing other people in those positions and seeing them do great stuff on tech Twitter and seeing them be active and seeing them work on this stuff was how I gained a lot of that inner confidence to say, okay, I already knew I could do this intellectually, but now I know I can do this in the working world. You know, and yeah, so that's my long-winded way of saying I think that it is really important just to have women talking about it, just to have women out there, just to have faces that people can see. And you know, I do still get quite sad when, you know, I see those best of lists and they still, like, don't have a single woman on them sometimes, and I'm just like, how are you not finding all these amazing people?
I think that it's all about, like, being able to make that, like, effort to look. And I have my opinions. I'm not gonna say anything or, like, call out any names, but last week was interesting when it comes to that. And so I think that the lesson there is that being able to know the audience that you're kind of that you're dealing with, like around the world or around wherever that you are kind of in that universe of tech Twitter, like there are plenty of people that are not going to look like you, that are not going to sound like you, that are not going to be like anything that you have like been able to fathom, like in your very small, tiny brain. But these people are wanting to make sure that they have that representation that like look like them kind of in your content, you know, in like whatever you're doing, and you're doing yourself as well as your audience a disservice if you are not helping to kind of expand your knowledge about the community of people that you are trying to educate, as well as trying to figure out ways to amplify your voice to be better at making sure that you amplify those voices. And so I will not name names. I will not like press this too much, but like tech Twitter was a fucking mess last week. And I just feel very sad that some people have like not learned at this point, you know, with thousands of followers, you haven't learned that this is a thing that is required because you are at a global scale. You're at a global scale now, and it's time for you to understand that like your actions are what will help people feel that you are in a better sense of community. And having to tear down some of these women to like kind of preserve that sense of self for like what you think that is needed from your community is not going to fly. And I am very glad that I am confident enough to kind of like speak out about like some of the actions that people have done. I'm not professional here. I am definitely not the person that will be like very demure, and I've like, because I have to push back. I have to be that person that is going to say, no, I'm going to be able to stand up for myself, because I haven't done it before, and it's gotten me to a place where I was miserable, that I felt like I didn't have a community, that I was alone. And now I feel like I need to make sure that I am also that person that is able to be like, it's going to be okay. We're going to figure this out. We're going to do this. And here are the people that I feel like have helped me and will better help you, and do this and that and the third. And also because I'm Black, and I fucking love being Black, and I don't think that's a bad thing, and it's not taboo. It's not something like, oh my goodness, like a shock factor or whatever. It's just,
hang on, Sydney, you're Black? I just don't see color, so I would never know.
Like, just what? What the fuck?
No, I hate that. It's so 90s. It's so 90s.
It's very naive.
That's what people, I heard it described that way. I said like this colorblind attitude. It's like it's what the 90s thought was anti-racism. Like, it's so unenlightened, and I know it's frustrating. I know what you're talking about, and I think what's frustrating is as you said, like right now, and as I said before about when I got into tech Twitter as well. Right now, people have to go out of their way to look for people who look like them, and I think the only thing that we're trying to change, and when people get called out, I know it sucks. Like I know it hurts. Like no one's perfect. We all fuck up. Yeah. Right. So it sucks being called out, especially being called out publicly. I get it. Right. But in the end, if the goal is never to make your life bad, the goal is to help you see how you could make other lives better. Yes. And I think what needs to come out of these situations is that people think, okay, how can I make it so that it's easier for people who are coming in and looking at like, what is tech? Right. Like they're asking the question, what is tech? What is the vibe? Right. Like, what am I going to find here? That they do see a plurality of faces, right? From different corners of the world, different colors, different creeds. Like this is something that needs to happen. So I feel like there is a responsibility for anyone who creates a list of any sort, really. They have to be looking at the list before they publish it anywhere, and they have to be looking at it and going, is this actually representative of the plurality of people who exist in this industry? Right. And if not, I need to fix it before I send it out. And this also goes for conference organizers, for example. There was a lot of talk about that last year, you know, people who would be organizing conferences and then at the last, like they'd publish the conference the conference schedule.
Like schedule,
and then and then people would be like, a lot of sausages going on there and like and then they'd be like, oh, I didn't even realize. And it's like, yeah, that's the problem. Like, you need to.
It's the problem right there. Like,
yeah, like that is exactly the problem. And it's okay to admit that you didn't think of it, because we're all products of a racist, classist, sexist, homophobic system that has brought us up, right? So it's okay to admit that, like, you fucked up, but don't then be like, oh, but I it's fine because I meant well. And it's like, well, no, now you fucked up, you say sorry and you try to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what has to happen. And I have spoken to the person we're not talking about in this conversation.
Oh no!
And I've made it very clear that, like, for me, like, I am someone who has a ridiculous amount of energy, both on screen and off screen.
Right.
So I am one of those people who, and this goes out to anyone who's watching this, who feels like they are targeted, be they, because of their sexuality or gender or race or religion or whatever it is. If you are struggling with someone who you just don't have the energy to educate them, and they mean well, you just can't with them. Right, because they're being however they're being, or because you just can't. Because it's fair enough. Like, no one wants to have these conversations with people day in, day out, no matter how well-meaning people are.
Yeah.
But send them to me, because I am one of those people who has a stupid amount of energy and patience for this stuff. So I will baby step people through shit. And that is what I try to do, almost entirely behind the scenes.
Oh my goodness.
Occasionally not, but I try. So, send them to me if you need them.
Wow.
If you need someone to baby step them through, I'm your girl.
If you guys want to know what was happening, please go read my tweets. Just go read my tweets from, like, last week. It was hilarious. And
I'm going to drink the wine.
I feel like it's very tiring. It's very tiring to have to, like, talk about, deal with, blah, 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 blah. So,
I get it. And that's exactly what I mean. Like, it's exhausting. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people who aren't, who aren't oppressed, for lack of a better term, in any way, they don't get. Like, they don't actually get. It's not necessarily like what legal rights you have, for example. Like, legally speaking, I'm equal, right? It's about the conversations, the social conversations you feel like you have to have over and over and over again. And it's not to say that, like, this is why, I don't know if you saw, but a while ago I posted a blog that was like 10 ways you can make your workplace friendlier for women.
And I think I did read that.
Yeah. And the whole goal of that was the idea that the majority of dudes in the workplace want their workplace to be friendly for women, but they don't know how to do it. And they don't they're like, oh, I'm fine. Like, I was fine with women.
Really
women
shocked
programmers.
reading that. I really was.
Yeah. So, like, that's the thing. A lot of them are really like, oh, I'm cool with women, so I don't know what I can do. And the whole point of that blog was like, okay, here's what you can do.
Right.
Because it seems like normal respect, like, and it should be, but a lot of people just don't realize a lot of the stuff in there. So I think that's the thing. These conversations are just really tiring for us to have, and it sucks. But hopefully, I do feel like there is more awareness happening now, especially with BLM, and also just generally with women in tech. I feel like a lot of women are entering the industry now, and I think it's helping. And for conferences, I just don't think it's acceptable anymore. I haven't seen, for quite a while now, I haven't seen a lineup that is exclusively male. So
that's progress, I feel like.
Yeah,
that's progress.
It's getting there.
That's progress.
Yeah.
I hope. You can only hope. Well, we'll see what happens, because after, I feel like we're kind of going into, quote unquote, the roaring 20s, and I'm really, I would really love to see that kind of happen, where everybody's just like, fuck it, let's just, like, go out and go to conferences and go to vacationing and, like, rich people shit, you know?
My goal now is to have a conference in Atlanta that we can both go to.
I'm so angry because the what is it? The Honey Collective. I think it's Yes Honey Co. And the Yes Honey Collective conference is happening in April, and I'm not able to attend. And I was really hoping to meet a couple of people there. Ari Hale's going to be speaking. I believe that Simone Bies is going to be a panelist. Who else? Brandon Jones, I believe his name is a real estate investor that's supposed to be there. There's just like a bunch of people from like tech Twitter that I like know of. And Ari's been my business coach. I have attended a bunch of like seminars from Bees. There's just a bunch of people kind of like involved with tech Twitter that are going to be there. And it's just like, of course, like the weekend that I have like shit to do, I can't be there. So I really hope that, you know, as more conferences kind of come into like the virtual like landscape and potentially like go into real life after, you know, everybody gets the vaccines and everything. Like I'm hoping that I'll be able to meet more people, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to like know all of these people that are like, yes, let's go out, let's do shit, let's do this, let's do that, let's do like I'm very excited about that. I cannot wait. But nah, y'all, I'm not trying to be out here playing too much. I don't think they have any restrictions in Georgia right now, so I'm very like, no way. Yeah. There's no fucking way that I'm about to be like stepping down there doing stuff. So no.
Yeah. So most important question, I think, how's the cake?
So the cake, I know. I've been like looking, like peeking. It's almost done. So we're definitely like waiting a little bit still. It's like has that nice jiggle. We're getting there. I can't like do the thing. I can't like do the thing that I want to. The mic is in the way. So it's getting there. It's a little like kind of like juicy up at the top.
Okay.
Juicy. Kind of like a pudding, I guess. I don't know. But we're getting there. But I don't know. Those are all the questions that I had and things. I can always like pop it out for you guys and like see how it is on the bottom.
We can try.
Yes.
Should it have been ready by now? Has something gone wrong, or is it?
It might have been like too much batter. That's all. Too much batter. I put too much batter in here. Okay, so this is a fun trick that I like to do.
Okay.
This is a fun trick that I like to do, and it might turn out like very ugly this time, guys. So just like hang on to your hats. It's gonna be fine. So all I'm gonna do is take this out because it's still hot, and then because I buttered the pan. This should be like nice and greased enough to where this like slides off like pretty well. So I have my plate, I have my pot. All I'm gonna do, place the pot on top.
Oh my god!
Then, oh my goodness, it went down. Perfect. That I was waiting for that because I was gonna tap it, like you know, just like magic trick and everything. And here it goes. I love doing this. This is my favorite part. I'm just gonna like put this right here.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that lovely? Look at that.
You are a genius.
Isn't that awesome, guys? Like, that is so nice.
In a rice cooker.
In a rice cooker.
That is blowing my mind.
Isn't that like beautiful? That is a beautiful looking, nice round cake. It just like... It's going to be super fluffy on the bottom. And then I have a little bit of like frosting. It's a little bit more liquidy and like foamy and everything, but I think it'll look good. So I'm just going to like put this near the camera and just be
this
like,
is torture.
Woo!
Oh my god.
There we go. And there it goes overflowing. Oh, I'm going to have to clean up a lot later. So there is my beautiful cake. Oh. I'm not a terrible baker, guys, I promise. gonna try and like cry laughing. Here we go. Yeah. I'll make it a little bit better.
Look at my beautiful creation.
I'll just. There we go. It's not even red. It's not even red.
Oh my god. That is the funniest.
I'm gonna have to clean this up later.
My favorite thing about this stream is that you have to do all the preparation and all the cleaning.
How dare you?
I sorted this out perfectly. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Oh my goodness, that was like, I mean, it's basically perfect. I just needed to get like the frosting right. Like,
yes.
I did not get that frosting right, guys. What do you think? I know that there's some people out there watching like, what the fuck? What, like, does this look edible? Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna try it.
Try it.
Fuck it. I don't have anything else to do.
That is
That's not true. I have to go
Oh my
and like
God.
tutor in like 30 minutes. So, okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna like cut this over here.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, that's a nice. It's a clean cut. Nice clean cut.
Ooh.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I'm just gonna stick my hand in it because it's fine. It's fine. It's still like a little bit on the bottom, a little
Amazing.
soft, but I like that. It's not bad.
This is amazing.
It's not bad. It's pretty clean
That's
cut. It
not
looks
bad.
pretty soft. All right.
Taste test.
This is actually super bomb. The bomb. I think I did
super
pretty
bomb.
good.
Okay. I was like super bum. Like
Mm-mm.
what? It tastes
Bomb.
like ass? Like what?
Thebomb.com. No, it's not bad. I like, of course, it needed a little bit more time. I probably could have like put it over in the pan, but no, I'm okay with this for now. I'll put it back in the pan when I'm ready. But this like it's super thick. That's what it is. It's kind of like a pudding like texture.
Okay.
Like in my mouth. So I'm very impressed with this, and this is very rich. So I'm very glad that I used that
nice.
organic cocoa. Ryan's like, I'm ready for this. Yeah. This is me drunk baking. So, no, this is good. Like, I wasn't gonna kill myself with anything like that I've made, guys. So I'm a fairly good baker. So it wasn't bad.
I can pretend to eat cake. Oh my god, I've got chocolate biscuits. This is perfect.
This is perfect. Cheers.
Cheers. I baked these myself, everyone. Just yes.
Wait, do you actually bake them yourselves?
No.
Oh,
Come on, Sydney.
that's fair. That's fair. It's not bad.
Ooh.
This is very thick, and I can see why. Like, it's literally just that like very like bottom that's still kind of like thick pudding like, and then the rest is just like so soft.
I can taste that. Yeah. Same
Oh my
thing we're
God.
eating. Yeah.
So this wasn't a bad creation. I don't know. What do you think? How do you think that I did? Judge me. Scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah. I would say that the texture is very thick, very rich flavor. I feel like the presentation needed work.
Man, Gordon Ramsay would be like, you're fired.
Yeah, but on the flip side, now your table gets to taste your icing. So, you know, there you
You're
go.
correct. You're correct.
Other than that, beautiful. Really good.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think that was successful. I feel like that was a successful baking session. Ryan's like, now I want cake. Might as well.
I was gonna say, considering how little attention we actually gave it, I feel
It was very quick.
You did
like
really well.
This
You did
was
really well.
I was very confident that I was able to do this in this rice cooker because I've done it before. There's like a reel on my Instagram. I'll have to show it to everybody where like the chocolate cake that I made with my boyfriend for Valentine's Day, it was perfect. It was just it was so rich and just so chocolatey, and it was just like, this is perfect.
Nice.
So I like, it's not like I haven't done this before, but like, oh, like chef's kiss. That was like one of the best chocolate cakes that I've like ever made. So this is a close
Very
second.
nice.
We got somewhere with this, but like
Very good.
it's all right. I don't know.
I'm proud of you, Sydney.
Thank you so much.
What a
And I'm so
quest.
happy that you decided to come on today. And I'm so glad that we decided to do this.
Oh my god! Yes, thank you so much for like bringing me on. Considering you were like, I don't even know how to set this up, but sure. And then like you did all the cooking and you set up all the tech stuff and like you did all the preparation. I literally just like logged on at 7:45 and then it was like all systems go. So
This is very true.
You're amazing. Thank you for having me.
I do my best. I am very excited because now that I know like how to do this properly, I'm very excited to do some other like projects that are kind of in the works. One of the things I guess I can tell you guys is that we are going to be live streaming the Ladybug podcast's last episode.
Yay!
So you guys didn't hear that first here. You guys will like hear that kind of like going into the next couple of weeks. So we'll tell you guys about that. But also, I have a gaming channel. I haven't like told anybody this because like I've had everything unlisted. I've had everything unlisted for like the past 2 weeks because I'm just like ready to like put the content out sometime soon. So don't find me just yet. We're getting everything out in public.
What do you play?
Oh, wait, what'd you say?
What do you play?
I'm playing Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
I'm going to be playing, this is the first time that I've ever played this series, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to be playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard really great things and I've never like done Assassin's Creed before, so there's that. I will also be playing, what else am I playing? Overcooked and Risk of Rain 2, because I'm very fascinated with like these like online games and these like speedrun games. And Overcooked is something that like has either like ruined my relationship or saved my relationship depending on the day. So that's gonna be fun.
What is it?
Wait, what'd you say?
What is it? What is Overcooked?
So Overcooked, oh my goodness, it's so fun. So it's a kind of like a couch partner game where you're two chefs that like are making sure that you like prevent the end of the world by cooking all these creations.
Okay.
And you're just cooking them and serving them. And depending on the kitchen, you have different types of obstacles. So it's going to be very interesting for everybody to kind of like see how this works because you play with partners. And so I've been playing with my boyfriend for a while and it's been very interesting to kind of like see our conversations depending on like what's going on because we both have to work together to finish whatever is going on. So like we can meet the goal. So there's some fun stuff with that. And it's also like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, it's a very good communicating tool. So if you ever decide to play it, you should definitely play with your husband. It's going to be very interesting. It will test out your relationship. I'm just saying.
It does sound like fun.
Yes.
It sounds like fun. He's not much of a gamer, I have to say, generally speaking, unfortunately.
Boo! Make him well, I mean, you don't have to be like, because I'm a very casual gamer. Like, I was very like...
Sydney, I am happy to live vicariously through you. I will just be like one of your subscribers and your like viewers, and I'm happy. That'll be enough for me. I'm content with that. I used to stream video games. I used to stream card games. And so I've kind of been there, done that, and I'm good to not do it again.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm done. So it's kind of like I'm back in tech, and that's where I'm happy. So I'm happy to just tell me when it's up so I can follow you and be your biggest fan.
Absolutely, thanks so much. That was like all that I had for this stream. Was there anything else that you wanted to promote, like have here and everything?
No, not really. I mean, I have a YouTube channel, so I guess anyone watching, it would be great if you could go and Sub to me there. It's just Anna McDougall developer. I talk about JavaScript a lot. The plan in the near future is to I've got a few more videos about applying to jobs that I want to finish up. And once I'm done with that series, I'm going to create like a quick and dirty introduction to Java for JavaScript programmers. So that's my goal at the moment.
Write a book. I would read it. I would read it. Write a book.
I plan to eventually write a book, but I already know what it's about, and it's super top secret. And yeah, you'll find out probably in like 3 years.
Fair enough. I'm okay with waiting that long.
But that's the plan.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being on today. And thank you for like helping with the technical difficulties. Thank you all so much for like being very patient and like commenting like, what the fuck, you can't hear? Like, what's going on? And shout out to all the ladies on tech Twitter, Black Tech Twitter. Just shout out to you. Thank you all so much. I'm just going to I love you all. Just big hearts, big hugs.
Yes.
Thank you to all of my subscribers and people that have commented. That is really highly appreciated. And I have a video next week that's dropping on Wednesday. I will make sure that all of the resources that we've been kind of quoting are in the description box. And that is it. Ta-da! We made the that.
Oh, you're
there
wonderful.
It is.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you everyone who watched and commented. It's been awesome. I was like, oh, maybe it'll take like an hour and a half, and we're here like 2.5 hours later.
Oops,
so
2.5. My bad.
No, it's great. I have loved every minute. So it's been
I'm
awesome.
so glad that everybody enjoyed it, and we'll be back. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for having us, and thank you so much, Anna, for being on the channel.
Mwah, always, anytime.
Thank